Brought to you by Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Sulky threads. Express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence.
Welcome to Quiltmaker's Block Network. I'm Diane Harris with Quiltmaker Magazine, and today I'd like to share with you Pinwheel of Strings, block number 123, designed by Rachel Griffith for Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks, Volume 2. For Pinwheel of Strings, you'll need some background fabric, one print that'll go down the center of each block, and assorted prints in various colors. And all of the cutting dimensions for a 12-inch finished block can be seen on the right-hand side of your screen. To begin with, you'll take your phone book page, which you've cut to the correct dimension, which is 6 7/8, and we're going to start by laying this wider strip down the center. And I like to be sure it's centered by giving a little crease to the phone book page. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but it helps to get it close. And I make a little crease at each end of this strip, and that just helps it to kind of lay on there nicely. And I can just sort of make sure that my creases line up. So that's the first thing, is I just lay this first one on here. And if you want, you can put a pin right here, or you can use some double stick tape just to sort of hold that there while you add the first strip. And you're going to add your first strip, and here you want to use the narrow strips. You're going to just lay it on one side of the blue strip, right sides together, and you're going to sew along here using a 1/4 inch seam. And if you have any trouble with this pulling up or buckling, you can put on your walking foot, and that usually solves the problem. And then you want to just gently press this over like so. And what you'll do is continue to add strips to cover the whole square of phone book paper. So here you can see I've continued to add strips. I usually work in one direction first. String piecing by nature is improvisational, and so if your strips are a little bit wider or a little bit narrow, it's totally fine. When you get to the corner here, you can use a square or a triangle if you'd rather. So here I've covered the whole page. I worked from the center, first in one direction and then in the other direction. And here's what it looks like on the back. You've covered the whole thing, and you have fabric all the way along here, so you're not cutting yourself short anywhere. Then what you'll want to do is trim this block up to the 6 7/8 inch measurement. So you can see here I've trimmed off all the little edges. I work from this side using a ruler and a rotary cutter, and I trim right even with the paper. So this unit then is your 6 7/8 inch measurement. And on the wrong side of my white squares, I want to mark a diagonal from corner to corner. You really only have to mark the center diagonal because you're going to sew a 1/4 inch out from each side of that. But I actually go ahead and mark this line, the sewing line, on both sides. I find that I just have better accuracy that way. So I mark the 3 lines, and then I sew along that diagonal. So then, using a ruler or a rotary cutter, you just trim down between the 2 lines of stitching. Then you're going to open this out and press. So you'll lay 4 of those together, and you'll make the pinwheel spin. And the only thing you want to remember is you want to decide which direction you want your pinwheel to spin, and you want to make all of your blocks for one quilt top spin in the same direction. So you join those 4 units together, and that's the completed block. So we thought it would be fun to see how the block looks if you repeat it several times in a quilt layout. So here we have the block set 3 by 3 in a little quilt, using the white tone-on-tone like we just used. And then we thought it would be interesting to see how it would look if we used a dark fabric to make those pinwheels, so you can see it in dark. And then we thought we'd change it up just a little bit more and set the blocks on point with dark setting triangles. So you can see there are lots of different things you can do with Pinwheel of Strings. You can find Pinwheel of Strings and 99 other beautiful blocks in Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 2. Thanks for being with me today, and we hope you join us next time for Quiltmaker's Block Network. Oh my gosh! It's gonna be so exciting! And we're gonna like tell everybody about it, like on Facebook and everywhere. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go.
Feeling good?
Feeling good.